Alright, I got everything out of my carport here. All the ladders took off and brackets took off. I'm fixing to start my next project, which is closing this wall in. And right here I'm going to build a double swinging door for that ramp right there, and a small walk-through door right here. And it was 23 degrees when I got up this morning, so I'm getting a real late start because that's just too cold. It's 35 now. I can handle 35. Alright, let the games begin. A friend of mine loaned me his hammer drill. And I'm going to show you how that works in case you've never seen one in action. You couldn't do this without it. I'm going to take my air hose and blow the dust out of there. So the anchors will hold. Alright, let's give this a shot. Get my hammer. Alright, I got the anchors in. Now I'm going to use my impact wrench here and try to crank them down a little bit. That's pretty good. Well, that's good and tight. I'm happy with that. Alright, I got 1, 2, I got 3 more to do like that. 10 minutes. It's going real quick. Well, it's coming along. It's coming along real quick. I'm going to have this all framed up before the day's out. I got one side of my door jamb in. Let me back up here. And I've reconsidered what I'm going to do for a walk-through door. I'm not going to put a walk-through door over in that corner because I've got my bench there and I'll have to move a bunch of crap to get in and out of the door. And I don't want to give up any space in here because when I get my lawnmowers and everything in here, it's kind of cramped still, even though it's 16 by 24. So this is a 7-foot wide ramp. What I'm going to do, I'm still going to make my double swinging doors, but I'm going to make one side 4 feet, and it will remain closed most of the time. And I'll have a bar that'll lock it into the concrete down here. And well, I got to put a header across here, a real strong double header where the swinging doors won't warp these jack studs where I'm going to screw my swinging door. So one side is going to be 4 feet wide, and the other side will be 3 feet wide, the standard size of a house door, and that's the door I'll go in and out of. So I'll save myself the cost of a factory door. I'm going to make these swinging doors, and I'll probably put a regular doorknob on it and everything, and have it lock into the half of the door that's going to stay closed. Okay, I got to sit, take a break. All right, I'm done with the framing. Took me about 5 hours to frame this in. I do need to do one little bit of framing above the door here. I got to get a 1x12. I'm going to put a really heavy header above the door. And tomorrow I got to go over to Shreveport. I dropped my DeWalt drill for like the 3rd or 4th time over the last several years. And now the clutch won't engage. A piece busted off there. And I got a big crack right here. Crack right here. And now the clutch won't stay engaged. I have to hold this hold this button here in tight to make the clutch engage. And a friend of mine called right after I dropped this. He called and told me about another friend of ours who is in management at Lowe's in Shreveport, and they've got a drill 970K-2 DeWalt 18 volt, and it's the what do they call it? The closeout model, or they've changed the design, and it's the last one that Lowe's has. It's $200 drill, and they want $129 for it, and I'm going to go ahead and get it. I hate to part with the money right now because I really need it for my wall panels here, my plywood siding. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, I'm not going to pass up a drill that's nearly $100 off. The batteries, Christ, 2 batteries. It comes with 2 batteries, and 2 batteries is $100. So for all intents and purposes, it's a $30 drill with 2 batteries. I mean, I could always use batteries because I got a bunch of DeWalt. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to get my siding, the drill. I think I can have all the siding on this tomorrow. And Wednesday, build my doors and be done with it Wednesday. And I'll show you my progress. I'll put this one up. See ya. Well, I started putting the wall up. And it's kind of hard to do by myself, but I figured out a way to hold the siding up while I use my framing nailer. Framing nailer's a little bit of overkill, but I'm just tacking it on with a framing nailer, and then I'm going to go back with hammer and nails and nail it on. I got my little pry bar wedged in between the plate and the concrete, and I'm resting my siding on that, and then getting it straight, and then just tacking it up with a framing nailer. And let's see, 1, 2, 3. I got 4 more pieces to do this side. I'll be done with this side here in just probably half an hour. Well, I'm trying to get this done in between the rain. It's been raining all morning, and it's taking me forever to get this one side up because when it comes down pretty hard. But 2 more pieces, and I'll have this will be closed in. Tomorrow I'll work on that, making my doors. Okay, the siding's up. Got a little bit of trim work to do. I got to get 1x4s and trim out the sides and the top edges. And there's a little daylight left. I might just go ahead and start working on my doors. Tomorrow I'll have to go get hinges, and I think I can be, for the most part, done with this tomorrow. See ya. Well, there's one door made and put together, hinged it up, used some lag bolts, and that took some doing there. This concrete slab is at an angle downwards because when I had this slab board, I wanted the rain to run off of it. So I've had to kind of adjust the door to fit the angle of the concrete here. I'm going to probably get this other door put together and hung. And geez, that's probably all I'm going to get done today. This is really slow going. I've had to be real careful making these doors because I'm down to my last few 2x4s, and I got 1 sheet of this siding left. So if I screw up, that's it. I'll have to wait till I can afford doors. I still got to put trim up here and all that, but I'm getting there. I'm probably going to take tomorrow off. A friend of mine wants to go pawn shopping and buy shotguns. Him and I buy old guns and refinish them and repair them if they need it, and then go to the gun shows and sell them, and pretty much almost always double our money on whatever we buy. So tomorrow we're going to do that, and I don't know what I'm going to do this weekend, but when I finish this, door's all up and the trim's up, I'll show it to you. Have a good weekend and Happy New Year. Well, I got my doors done, and I had an old doorknob that I took off of one of my doors in the house and used here. And I don't know what happened, but somehow I mismeasured by 2 inches. I don't know what I did, I even wrote the measurement down when I measured this doorway to cut my wood here. And I even wrote it down wrong, so I don't know how it happened, but I think I'm going to put a 2x4 across the top there, and then just put a little piece of siding up here and some caulking, and who knows, maybe nobody will notice it. But I'm no professional carpenter. I make mistakes. I just hate I made a mistake right around here where it's facing the house. All right, I'm going to start my trim. I'm going to repair my mistake, and I should be, for the most part, finished with this today. All right, see ya. All right, there's this side trimmed out, done. I'm going to caulk over my nail holes, hit it with a coat of primer, and then on this end here, the eaves, I'm coming out 3 foot, adding some tin, and this is where I'm going to stack my firewood back here for the house and my shop. Okay, I'm going to trim out the front side and the doors and be done with the outside. Alright, I added a 2x4 to the top of this door that I screwed up, mismeasured, and added a piece of siding to it. From a distance, it don't look too bad, but I have a friend who's a carpenter. I'll see if he picks up on it. If he doesn't notice it, then I'm good to go. Well, I'm done. I trimmed it out, and I'm standing in the shadow of my shop here because the sun is right on the camera. I got some a little bit of work to do as far as caulking the nail holes, and then I'm going to put a coat of primer on it. Oh, and my mistake up there, when I get some caulking on that seam and fill in nail holes, I don't even think it'll be noticeable. It'll just be between me and YouTube that I made a mistake. And I used an old lock that I had laying around. Had to do a little whittling to get it to fit, but it works. I'll be able to lock this. Alright, that's one project down. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to add 3 feet off of this eave here and put some tin on it, and right below here is where I'm going to start stacking my firewood to keep it dry. I don't know what I'm going to lay down here in the ground. If I come across some 4x4s or maybe some landscape timbers or something, just to keep the wood up off the ground. But this afternoon I'm going to Ace Hardware to buy some pipe and some sheet metal so I can install my stove. And I'm putting my stove in that corner down yonder, and I'm moving them shelves and everything. I'm going to put the shelves over on this wall, and the stove's going in the corner. I'm going to get some of that cement backer board nailed to the walls where the stove's going to be going. And then when I extend this roof out, I'm going to be scabbing onto these here, 3 feet in and 3 feet hanging off. When I'm done with that, I'll close these in. Otherwise, I'll have sparrows and all kinds of birds trying to live in here. All right, I'm going to put this up. I really can't do that much right now because it's still too cold to paint, and it's too cold to get the caulking to stick to the wood.